Hey everyone, it's Chala Dinkoy from The Repositioning Expert. It is another Tuesday Tea Time with Chala. I am doing it in a different format. I couldn't get on with Zoom to live stream into Facebook, but today our topic is really interesting. It's something that I've used a number of times, especially at the beginning of the pandemic, to steady my state of mind and peace of mind around my finances. And I wanted to share this with you. And for any of you who follow the Abraham Hicks books, look for those and you'll see the focus wheel as part of their teaching. So I actually applied it to something that I'm interested in, which is creating more wealth. And at the beginning of COVID, and here, let me just take a sip. I had done this for my financial situation. So this is what it looks like. You can print out a copy of this anywhere online. You could just say focus wheel template. It's everywhere. It's been around for years. So in the center, what you do is, how do I get back to the feeling that you want? So what I was trying to get back to the feeling of at the beginning of COVID last year, when I was in the fetal position and I lost all my income from all my canceled appearances, all the canceled trade shows that I was going to, the TV appearances, everything, and the borders shut down between Canada and the US. And I felt like I have no idea where my income is going to come from. And so, and this is how a lot of people have felt. And so I hope this resounds for a lot of people. And if you're still in that situation, you can use this tool because it really made me feel better and it produced some results. So in the middle, what you put is, how do you get back to the feeling? And what I was looking for was financial security around my finances. Okay, so I'm being told to try again. Let's try this again live on Facebook, everyone. I may have to do an introduction again. My goodness. All right, so on Tuesday tea time with, I have no idea whether it's going to work. Oh, it says public. Oh, it won't let me go into, oh, yeah, I will. Hold on. CEO Society. Let's try it. Let's try it, everyone. Ooh, it's preparing to live stream the meeting. I wonder if it was some sort of permission that I didn't have. So it sounds like it's looking to set up. I have no idea if it's going or not, but you guys, sorry for doing this.
Stream the meeting.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if it was some sort of.
Okay, so I'm getting back to the screen here. Okay, so for those of you who are just joining us, I was telling everyone about how I lost my income at the beginning of COVID. And now for this version of Tuesday Tea Time with Chala, I'm talking about the money focus wheel, which I used to then first soothe my mindset and be able to get back to generating the kind of income that I used to make. And the thing that I use is a tool called the focus wheel that I learned from an author by the name of Abraham Hicks. If you look up their stuff, you can find this form that I just printed off. I just Googled focus wheel and you'll be able to get that online. Just focus wheel template. That's what I Googled. So in the middle, what goes in the middle is, how do you get back to the feeling that you are doing this focus wheel for? So if it's around feeling secure around finances, secure around relationships, secure around something going on with a client, anything that is troubling you, you can literally use this focus wheel to change your state. And if you ever listen to Anthony Robbins, it's one of the things that he often talks about. And that's why he makes you like jump up and down in his workshops. He makes you, hug the people next to you. That's going to go away real fast with COVID, which I always hated doing that, by the way. Not that I don't like hugging, but I didn't want to hug strangers. So it's always about changing your state. And he always says that the entertainers and athletes are the highest paid individuals in the world because they change your state. And so you will make more money if you can change your state and the state of others. So in the center of this, to change your state, you write down what state you want to be in. So how do I get back to in my case, it was, I was feeling insecure with respect to my finances. So I wanted to get back to feeling secure around my finances. So already write it as if already true, but it's not true in that moment, and you know that it's not true in that moment. So you write the intention. It's literally an intention. So I wrote in the middle, I feel secure regarding my finances. And then you do what they call a rampage of good feeling thoughts that are close to the middle of being true. Like, if you were to put, I feel secure regarding my finances, or I'm $1 million business right now, and you're not, it's not true. But what could you put around the wheel in terms of thoughts that feel good, are true, and are related to what's in the middle? So this is what I did. So the first one I put was, I see evidence of the universe yielding to me, because I really have a strong belief that, and I've been doing it for years, that when I focus and I want something, it always somehow ends up being the focus of what I'm doing, what I'm talking about, what I'm saying, and energetically it seems to pull in whatever I need at that time. So I'm always saying stuff around, I see the evidence of the universe yielding to me. So for example, and I've used so many different methods of doing it, so many ways, so many coaches, but I created my first $20,000 client that way. I created my first $30,000 client that way. I created my first $100,000 day that way. And so I created another funnel, like complete from scratch after COVID, that was in the multiple six figures. So I've used multiple times. So this is true for me. I do see evidence of the universe yielding to me. So it's great. The next thing that I wrote was, I have tons of fun on my trainings and coaching. Like every time I end a coaching session or I do my live trainings, even when I do this, I used to say, I fly to my car. I don't just walk, I fly to my car, because I used to feel so happy, so fulfilled. This is my dream. You forget that for 18 years, I worked for other people and I had to do what they said. Now, this is what I want. This is, I talk about what I want to talk about. I talk to who I want to talk to, and I do it the way that I want to do it. And I love it. It's so much fun. I've had coaches tell me, Chala, you coach too much on trainings. And I don't care. It's what I do. I love doing it. I love helping people in the moment. I love letting people watch and learn from that. I love people who want to then work with me after seeing me help somebody else. So I love being my own boss, and that's what this is about. I have tons of fun on my trainings and coaching, and the thought makes me feel good. So that's why it belongs on the wheel, on the focus wheel, and it gets me focused into a good state, a good feeling state, and makes me then get closer to, I feel secure regarding my finances, because how likely am I to be making more money and be secure in my finances if I actually love what I do and how I teach and how I coach? So the next one is, COVID's been treating me pretty well. I mean, I made a lot of money during COVID, which was completely unexpected. I was really shocked at the end of last year when I ended the year, and it was, so much more. I had no idea where all those sales came from. I was beyond grateful, but I had done so much of this kind of work, so much of the focus work, so much of the meditation, so many of the belief work and the state work on myself. So COVID's been treating me well. I wasn't the kind of person that went out a lot to begin with. I would literally just either travel once a month and go to the gym every day when I wasn't traveling, and then be in my home office, which is just my living room, and pick up my kid. Like that was it. And so it hasn't really changed, because I was always trying to macro count my whatever I was eating. So I wouldn't go out a lot. I don't drink. I mean, the disco era is gone. And just because I'm calling it disco, I don't even go clubbing anymore. I used to go and do, a lot more socializing, but it was all in small groups to begin with. So COVID's been treating me pretty well. I can't really complain. And luckily, nobody that I know has really been affected by the virus. Another thing that I put on here was, I love not traveling so often. I mean, I love traveling, but going to a conference center, freezing for 5 days, being exhausted to death and coming back like death warmed over was hard on my diet, hard on my body, hard on my sleep, hard on my family. You know, I'm a single mom, and it would completely toss out our parenting schedule. And so we've got a really good parenting schedule now where it's completely exactly half the week. And it's gotten into such a rhythm that everybody's used to it. Like Logan's used to it, everybody. And so we plan everything around it. Where I used to travel, I used to throw everything off. It was different every month, it was different every week. And so, like, and I really didn't enjoy being waiting in airports and going through security. And, even though I have a visa, it was always a stressor whether they're going to ask me, are you a consultant in the US or not? All that is gone. It's all gone. So, again, I love not traveling so often when I don't want to. So that's another thing that I've written on the focus wheel. So again, it just reminds me of all the good things that are happening in my life, in my world, and moving my state into closer to what I want it to be, to feel secure regarding my finances. The next thing that I wrote was, I'm so secure in my home and with my partner and with my child. Those things are going well. Of course, like the teachings of Abraham Hicks in their books is, if everything is going wrong and just one thing is going right, you focus on the thing that's going right. Okay. The next thing is, things are always working out for me. And somehow, no matter what happens, from the first day that I walked out of my job, my secure job, it's just gotten better and better and better and better. And I could have actually written that. It just gets better and better and better. Things are always working out for me. And the next thing that I wrote was, I adore what I do and how I do it. And I talked a little bit about that. It's just another way of saying that. I really do. I mean, I believe so strongly in niching. I believe so strongly in messaging based on pain. I believe in focusing, and not just for the focus wheel, but for your business. I mean, I was talking to a lovely, lovely woman today for networking purposes, and we talked about her businesses. And, the biggest thing that I could tell her right away from a bird's eye view was, please, like, you have to focus what you're doing, because while you're doing amazing things, it's very confusing to someone who's trying to refer you or hire you. So I love what I do. I stand so firmly behind what I think, what I say. It's taken a lifetime to build all this knowledge and information. The next thing on the wheel is, I love manifesting and cooperating with the universe. I told you about all my manifestations. I mean, my child was a manifestation. I had 4 miscarriages and I had Logan. So, it wasn't easy. I always did this sort of, creating and focusing and doing that. Maybe too hard. Maybe it's taken too long. Maybe I'm too impatient. I don't know. For some people, these things come very easily, but it really has to do with, what are some of your pre-built in challenges that you're resisting the things that are coming to you anyway. And so, I've had to work for certain things in my life much harder than anybody else. So, but I know that I love manifesting, and I know that in the end, I teach myself how to change my beliefs and my thoughts, and I'm able to manifest it. And, the first thing that I learned when I hired a very high level coach was around my income, and how I was making every purchasing decision to get a coach and to work with someone who was where I wanted to be, out of the same thinking that got me to the income, which was only like 6 figures after 40 years of living and working for giant corporations. I was still only at 6 figures, and I could never crack, anything, multiple 6 figures. So that's where I learned that's where I learned to do manifesting is, when you are ready, the teacher shows up. So that's one of the other things on my focus wheel. Another one is, I have created financial wows many times before, just reminding myself that I never thought it was going to be possible, and it became possible. What I teach is so needed by so many, and I see it in every conversation that I have, even though the person's not even, talking to me about hiring me, even though the person's not even, cognizant of the fact that they need help. I see room for improvement, money left on the table in every business that I meet. And to me, that's a blessing, because I have no idea how that information is downloaded into my brain. I just see it. I do it on when I do, coaching, live coaching during trainings and live sessions. That's how I do it. It's just, I know what to say. Somehow it comes to me. And then I can let my desires in, because I believe that the universe is so generous and so wonderful that things are always coming to us. People are trying to help us all the time. Clients are looking for us, and people need us desperately. People need our gifts. People need our heart, our kindness, our soul. So, and I'm letting it in, and I remind myself of that. It changes my state. So that's, I think, the end of my focus wheel. Those are all the beliefs that I wrote, and you can do multiple focus wheels at one sitting. It really depends on how, much you want to get into, how much time you want to spend, and how often you dip into the insecure thoughts of fear and doubt and, worry around whatever it is that you're talking about. So I hope that was helpful, you guys. That was a really long one. And hopefully you're still with me. So enjoy your Tuesday tea time with Shala. Don't forget to sign up for the Lead Gen Masterclass. It's on the 24th. We're doing it again. We're going to talk about first how to find your target. Then we're going to talk about how to position yourself into their need, into their niche. And then third, we're going to talk about how to message to them. Okay. So go to repositioner.com/leadgen, and I will see you on the interwebs. All the best, everyone.